And we're going to go into why that actually was more devastating in Nepal than if that happened in that same size earthquake happened in the U.S. Okay, so we're also talking about the size of an earthquake. Does anyone know any other natural disasters that are categorized by a number? Hurricane. All right, so go ahead. Hurricane. What is another one? Sam?
Tornadoes.
Tornadoes. What is the category for hurricanes? What is it out of? So we're showing the hands. So raise your hand if you want to participate in class. Sarah. Sorry, Megan. 5. Okay. It's called a what? A what 5? Category 5. What's the most devastating hurricane? 5 or 1? So category 5 is the absolute highest. Does anyone know the wind speed necessary for it to be considered a hurricane? I see 4 hands. John, what is it?
75 or 70.
So the 70 aspect is right. Add how much to that? Yep. 100. 175 to be called a hurricane. What is a hurricane called before it's known as a hurricane? Jamie? Tropical storm. Before that, what is it called? Raise your hands. What is it called before it becomes a tropical storm? Let's see. Did you know it, Josh?
I said a name.
So that's a name. Ava? Not just a storm. John?
Tropical depression.
Tropical depression. First you just have it to be a basic storm, then tropical depression as it gets stronger, tropical depression, tropical storm, and then hurricane. How do you describe a hurricane? Is there something, we call it what? Is there something, a description that goes to it? So you have the category, what else do you have to describe a hurricane? It's, Alex?
Its name.
Its name. Okay, so you have names, you have male, female names associated with hurricanes. They're alphabetical order, they go down the list. Like 2005, you had Hurricane Katrina, Hurricane Irene, Isabel, so they're names. Hurricane Andrew, 1992, some devastating hurricanes happened in U.S. history. Josh. Hurricane Sandy, that was 2011? 13. Yeah, I remember a short story. So I was going to college, 2011, was excited. I was moving to my dorm room. Everything was unpacked. My dad had just left. I was like, okay, cool. 2 hours later, Ari comes in the door, knocks on the door. We open up. She goes, I'm sorry, our hurricane's coming. We have to evacuate. Everyone go home. I was crushed. So we had to go home. I went back home to St. Mary's County, and power went out. My basement was on the border of flooding. We were bailing water out. I was like, I'm supposed to be in college right now. So I had to spend 4 days at home. That was actually during our freshman orientation. So I missed out on our whole freshman orientation. And the ironic side of that, what really happened is, so Southern Maryland where I live and Salisbury are the same latitude. They're right here next to each other. St. Mary's County ended up getting hit a lot harder than Salisbury. Salisbury hardly got affected. So I was a little bummed out about that. Okay, so we know to talk about hurricanes and category 1 through 5. What about tornadoes? What's the category for tornadoes? What's the number out of? Allison, do you know? Okay. Zach, do you know? Sam? 5. And what is that letter right before the number? Alex? F. So F5 would be the weakest or strongest? Strongest. F5 tornado would be the highest you could go in category. The wind speed could still go up. F1 would be the smallest tornado. So we have tornadoes, hurricanes. Does anyone know what another term for hurricane is in maybe a foreign country or a different country? Awesome.
Cyclone.
Cyclone and with another one. Jamie?
It's like Spanish. There's one that's like a drum.
You think of El Nino maybe?
Yeah.
Okay, that's similar weather pattern. Not quite a hurricane or a cyclone. There's one other a word I'm looking for to describe a hurricane or cyclone. It's called this is a T. Close. Tsunamis occur from earthquakes. It's called typhoon. So typhoon, cyclones, and hurricanes. So you hear typhoon hits Japan, you'll think, what's a typhoon? Oh, that's a hurricane hitting the coast of Japan. So just different word for it. Okay, now we're going to pass out our reading for today, and we have corresponding questions that go with it. When I pass it out, here's what I recommend. I recommend you take a minute, scan and preview the article, and scan and preview the questions, so you know what questions you're getting to and what to target before you start reading it. Okay? Passes that now. Take one, pass it back, please. And these are class copies, so go ahead, when you're done with them in class, just go ahead and leave them on your desk, and I'll collect them, because fourth period has to use them as well. There you go, Sam.
I am sure.
Give me an extra? Okay, thank you. This I'm passing out. 6 questions on the front, 2 on the back. You can write your name, period, date on this. This will be collected for a grade. So make sure you're working hard and working efficiently as we move through this. Okay. Questions 1, 2, and 3 are actually going to be on the board, okay? So the first part, you're reading the text on the board, and then the second set of questions, part of question 2 is in the text, and the rest of the questions are within the text, okay? So you'll be reading what's on the board first to answer 1, 2, and 3. So if you have any questions, or you need my help, I'll be here walking around. I'm seeing what you guys are working on, so feel free to help. Ask for help. Remember, 1, 2, and 3 are coming from the text on the board. And part of question 2 is coming from the text and your handout as well. Sam? Yeah. Sam, do you want to move right here? Yeah, get it close below.